In a quiet little town, nestled among sleepy houses and whispering trees, lived a tiny striped cat named Milo. Milo wasn't like the other cats. While they chased mice or napped in sunbeams, Milo was an explorer. His curious green eyes were always searching for the next big adventure, and his twitching whiskers could sense secrets hiding just around the corner. One sunny afternoon, Milo's adventure led him to the back of his own yard, to a place he'd never really noticed before. There stood an old, rickety fence, weathered by years of sun and rain. A single board was broken, creating a small, mysterious opening. Peeking through, Milo saw something extraordinary. It wasn't just another yard. It was a magical, hidden garden. Hesitantly, he squeezed through the gap. The air inside was thick with the sweet scent of flowers he'd never smelled before. Sunlight dappled through overgrown vines, illuminating a world of forgotten treasures. A rusty tricycle leaned against a mossy wall. A single, lonely roller skate sat by a stone bench, and a collection of colorful glass bottles sparkled like jewels in the tall grass. It was a place where lost things came to rest, and it felt enchanted. As Milo padded softly through this secret world, a strange, beautiful sound reached his ears. It was a melody, both sad and sweet, like a lullaby for the setting sun. He followed the music to a small, clear pond in the center of the garden. There, perched on a smooth, flat rock, was an old turtle. But this was no ordinary turtle. With a tiny violin tucked under his chin and a bow held gracefully in his claw, he was the source of the enchanting music. The turtle, whose name was Sheldon, had lived in the garden for longer than anyone could remember. He was the garden's gentle guardian, playing his music to soothe the forgotten things and keep the magic alive. Milo, mesmerized, sat down and listened, feeling a deep sense of peace wash over him. Day after day, he would slip through the fence to visit Sheldon and the magical garden. It became his secret, a special place just for him. But one evening, their peaceful world was shattered. A gang of rowdy raccoons, their eyes gleaming with mischief, crashed through the bushes. They chattered loudly, knocking over the sparkling bottles and trampling the delicate flowers. They were looking for trouble, and they had found it. Sheldon stopped playing, tucking his head nervously into his shell. The garden's magic seemed to fade, silenced by the chaos. Seeing his friend and their beautiful sanctuary in peril, something inside Milo snapped. He was no longer just a small, curious cat. He was a protector. With a courageous meow that sounded more like a roar, Milo puffed up his fur, making himself look twice his size. He arched his back and hissed, a tiny, striped fury defending his home. The raccoons, surprised by this sudden bravery from such a small creature, stopped in their tracks. They had expected a quiet garden, not a fierce little guardian. Milo charged forward, swiping and darting between their legs. He wasn't big, but he was fast and fearless. But raccoons, confused and a little scared, decided this garden wasn't worth the trouble. With a final, disgruntled chitter, they scrambled away and disappeared back into the shadows. Silence returned to the garden. Sheldon slowly poked his head out of his shell, his wise old eyes filled with gratitude. The garden seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The moonlight once again made the pond shimmer, and the flowers seemed to lift their heads. Milo, no longer puffed up but standing tall with pride, had saved their secret world. From that day on, Milo was more than just a visitor. He was the garden's co-guardian. He and Sheldon shared many peaceful afternoons, the sound of the violin mingling with the happy purr of a very brave little cat. The garden remained their secret, a hidden gem where forgotten things were cherished, and where the smallest of heroes could make the biggest difference. And every time Milo looked at the broken fence, he smiled, knowing the wonderful secret that lay just beyond.